pheasants out there. Country lane full of pheasants. And guess who spotted? Come on out the way. So it's September, so it wouldn't be the game season. These little fellas look a little bit too small anyway, haven't fattened up yet. Are they in the way of us going to your walk? Oh, it's just not on, is it? Oh, come on. Come on, dopey. This little one, he don't seem to want to move. Come on. Oh, come on, duck into the bush. We're about to cross over the Pilgrim's Way, but I think they're just going to carry on running down into Sundridge. Come on. Oh, there you go. It's called Use Your Wings. Right, that's a few of them gone. Right, these two. Come on. Hey!
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
So this is Dryhill Local Nature Reserve. It's a perfect little walk. It's not a big walk. It doesn't take long at all to do it, but you can spend your time here. It's picnic areas. We're in this car park here. The lower car park entrance is there, but we park here usually. And what I tend to do is sometimes a figure of 8, coming round these paths and then back up in and over the back to the car park. And it's just an easy run. Just the basic things apply like most other country parks, no barbecue, camping, smoking, that sort of thing. And the front gates do close at 7. A little bit later on during the summer, but I think they changed that, but it does say 7 o'clock they close it. But you can still walk in here, you can still come around here. But car parks are ample size. I mean, anyone's here today. So we'll have the place to ourselves by the looks of it. So Dryhill resides with the nearby Montreal estate. These are the farms that back onto it, which you can't cross over to obviously, but it rises up the hill towards Sevenoaks. So I can imagine this has been used either by local children, scouts that have come up. It's a bit like a wilderness survival sort of camp. A couple of the channels I follow, Kent Survival, and Simon, a Bloke in the Woods, these are the sort of things they tend to get up to, which was kind of a bit of inspiration for a lot of the videos I want to make, with the bushcraft cooking and that sort of thing, and the wild camping. Although I like overlanding, having some of the creature comforts near, but it'd be interesting to do some videos down here. Well, not in here, because this is I've never seen a warden, but there are consequences. You can't just pitch up and camp as it says on the sign. You're best off finding some land, a landowner that gives you permission to do so, a farmer. These places can attract some unwanted attention of the night, but that's why they lock the car parks. But I've never seen it, but I think if people started to do it, that's fine if they want to do it. I'm not saying do it or don't do it, but you know, if you do it, take your rubbish home and leave no trace. Otherwise you could get caught, or the next person who does it gets caught and fined. A dog owner's curse. If you've ever had a Springer Spaniel or a dog with long hair, you'll know exactly the curse of these things. Having just come down this path on the first half of the figure of 8, you come, if you want to do the figure of 8, to a fork. You'll know you're there because out to the right is the clearing that we walked through when we started the walk. But you come to this fork and we tend to take the left, which extends the loop rather than, both paths lead back to the car park, but this just extends it a little bit further on the first half of the figure of 8. As you come up from where we just were, you'll notice the hillside, these lumps of rock start rising up by the side of you. Some are still covered in earth and tree growth, but you start to understand why they called it Dryhill, because although the main part of the walk is relatively flat, being at the base, and as I said in the first part of the video, it's hard to make out in the trees, but you'll get a better look in a minute. But just through there it starts rising up quite steep to a point, almost like a teepee, like it's man-made, but it's not. But either side you start getting closed in a little bit. And this is a small section. The second half of the figure of 8, the rocks are more prominent and they're very steep cliffs. But that's why, being at the base, when this was all under seawater, that this was the highest point. There must have been little islands, and obviously gave it the name Dryhill. It's just a very unusual piece of landscape that just comes out of nowhere, and it's just there like a big lump of hill. And if you didn't know any better, you would say it was man-made, but it's not. So just from that first part, this is back to the car park, and that's the end the first half of the figure of 8. You can actually see by the contours, this is where we've just come round, and we're back at the car park here. So now we're going to continue on around this part, and this is where it gets extremely high, this cliff here. But it's a good walk, nice walk. So we should continue. Come on, leave that. You see traces of rock everywhere through here. So we went off down there, did the first loop right round to the car park. Now we start the second loop that goes back and then returns to the same car park. I don't know if the microphone could pick it up, but you could probably hear it's a stone's throw away, well, a field away, from the A25, and then a little bit further on is the M25 orbital motorway, and so that would be directly north of us. Over to the west, running back up towards Sevenoaks, through the Montreal estate as it happens, is the A21. We'll go this way, Navie, because it goes around a little bit further. Surprisingly, a lot of, again, like high elms, the MOD during the war, World War II, had a lot of involvement around the area here, and not surprising when you consider on up from Pole Hill on the North Downs, right on the tip of the North Downs, that in actual fact, I think if I could see through the bush here, I might better look up that way. What was Fort Halstead? It used to be an old Roman fort, I believe, and then during the war became the MOD. There it is, I can just about see it. Right up there on the North Downs is Fort Halstead. The top of that chalk face, and up there, right in that centre of that field and above, is Fort Halstead. Slowly decommissioned now. Slowly been decommissioned, but all round here and on the Montreal estate, munitions were stored, and because they were just away from everyone. And during the Battle of Britain, after the Battle of Britain, in the Sundridge, in the quarries, in what is now the wetlands along the Sundridge Road, which we drove in on, they dumped a lot of the aircraft, salvaged what they could, the odd, you know, some engine parts, machine guns, ammunition. Oh, that's a better view. Oh, actually that's quite a good view, because what you can see there is Fort Halstead in the distance. You might just see, yeah, cars there. That's the A25, and then over to the right, the A21, and you can't see, but this is the junction of the A21, A25, but also the M25, just behind those trees. Come. Again, the hillside rising up now again, an indication to the fact that elevation goes up a lot higher. Oh look, I have got, I don't know if I've got it on this phone, I've got an app for when I do my amateur radio, and I go portable, as we call it, out and about, literally throw a wire up into the trees to act as an antenna, I'll usually give out a call, but part of the information of when you make contact with someone, they could be anywhere in the world, mind, it's possible, they could be anywhere, that can hear you from your location. And I like to give as much detail, you know, it's only a brief contact that you make and then you try for someone else, but it's enough information so they can understand how you're operating your equipment, the power you're using, the power you're pushing in terms of the watts, and in the location, the elevation, how far you are above sea level. But you can extend these walks or shorten them. There's plenty of paths that cut across that won't take you, you know, won't be too hard to manage. They're quite simple walks. In fact, on this entire walk, what I'm about to do, and it's not even that excessive at all, especially, like, you know, it's not, certainly not by, you know, mountainous. In fact, it's, oh, he's on the steps. Hello. So he's already sitting above me. Right, we make the big climb up. So it disappears back down there, and that goes off and literally comes out of that lower car park by the entrance. But we're going to go up here, and it does rise up very quickly, but it's not far. You'd easily be able to manage it if you're fairly fit, reasonably fit. Now, the fence here has been replaced several times, and you'll see why in a moment. It's probably better to do a video like this in winter, because I'm looking down now, and that is a long way down, and it's a sheer drop off this edge, off this rock face. See if I can get a better view. Yeah, normally you'll see the rocks down through there, rock face. Yeah, focus in for me. But that is, you do not want to be climbing over this fence. It's full of moss and slippery leaves, and you would, well, I don't think you'd get back up after falling down there. It's just hard on video to really appreciate how high we are. It's just so, some of it's so reasonably flat, all of a sudden you've got these massive, huge, you know, rocks that just rise up. And this, I imagine, is literally what I'm walking to now, because we're still going up, is the main part that they called and named it Dryhill. So I assume they've looked at the rocks, and the North Downs is mainly, I mean, that's a steep. Navie, come back, you're not going down there. Navie, you're not tumbling down there. Navie, come back. Oh, that's all I need. But also when they looked at the area, the soil, rocks and things, they could tell that this was obviously above the water level. It's a real shame we can't see. So the entrance was there, the road would come up, it's just that you can't see it, it's below this. I'll walk down it because some views of the rocks I'll try and get, and the car's parked just down there, but we're still going up. We are still going up. New fencing again. They do keep this country park very well maintained. I mean, with this they have to. This is a, as I said, a very dangerous drop. And we're just coming to the crest. Oh, there's the road right down there. Yeah, and it's nice they've put it. You see remnants of the old fence, another camp over there. But they've put it so you can still get a view and enjoy the fact that you are up this sort of little cliff face, but not put it so close as to warrant any danger or chance of it breaking away. So I would say, looking back, that, and you can actually see in the rail, boy, you look up there, you can actually see it pitching back downwards. So I would say, give or take, this spot right here is the highest point in Dryhill. So now we make our way back down. So I should probably add in winter, especially in winter, but even in the summer, because of the moss, there's a lot of tree roots, a lot of trip hazards, but these roots are particularly hazardous, extremely slippery at times, and these sleepers, yeah, they make for nice steps, but again, if you're not watching what you're doing, you're not concentrating, you're going to get yourself a tumble. We don't want that. This would end the walk quickly to the car park, because the cars are literally the other side. Navie's just popped over. But we're going to head off and just go back out the way we started when we came in here, just to give it a bit more of a walk and a bit of filming. Lots of these. Must be good fun to build and play in. I can remember doing it when I was young, when I was a kid, and we was in the Scouts, used to do things like this and make these little camps. Sometimes it was done for Scouts, sometimes we used to do it just going off playing in the woods before the days of game consoles and YouTube, I suppose. But yeah, we used to do that. Right, so we are literally back at the car park. We started there, as I said, all the way round, and then the figure of 8 back and around to this said spot. But you'll see it's quite sort of sand here, and along the A25 through Westerham into Oxted, and of course Sundridge, they excavated a lot of sand out. Chipstead Lake was a quarry. Do a video on that, because there was the old Western Railway. We could do that as a trek and a walk. History of the old Western Railway, which is quite interesting. If you're into railway, I think, oh, it's hard to see, it still looks like it's rising. I think that was the highest point up right in there. That's our Sevenoaks, just off the A25, M25, A21. To come for a quick walk like this, and we like doing it because I'm often passing here And if I've got Navie in the car, he needs a break and a walk. And it looks like there's been some earthworking there, digging out. There's a lot of spoil up in there, so I wonder who lives in there. And there's another little just to the going up and in. I wonder who's living in there. I bet you're going to get a lot of foxes, badgers around here. Well, we really have got it to ourselves today. This is the lower car park. You see a lot of the rocks protruding out the hill here. I'm going to walk round the lower car park to the lower picnic site. You can have picnics here. There was picnic tables some time ago, and I've often come down here with a sandwich, a bit of lunch, and especially with our last little Springer Spaniel, Indiana, and we used to have a picnic, and sometimes with some friends we've come down, just brought some assortments of snacks, some Scotch eggs, that type of thing. So this is the lower picnic area. There used to be lovely benches here, but I think they've just rotted. But as the sign says, no barbecues. So we have to abide by that, I'm afraid. There's a few of these little benches to sit on, but they used to be scattered about more of these picnic style benches, and quite often on a weekend, on a sunny day, it's nice to see families down here. This was more often kept shorter, and I believe at the beginning of the year, I think the farmer may, or they used to, just bring the sheep in, but I doubt it was a long time ago. But this used to be kept a lot shorter. But we have had, you can go on in. He loves it, doing what he loves best. So this is what I wanted to come and show you. It just, as I say, it's not Snowdonia, it's nothing that big, but this is why you don't want to climb over the other side of that fence. It drops off quite steeply. So I'm headed back to the car now. So we will carry on. Before I end this video, I probably had a few more little scenes. Might stop off somewhere else, but we shall see.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.